Hey everybody, welcome to the show. Today we're going to be talking the Konopiště and Kayak Point Showdown recaps and the PDGA's proposed rule changes for 2026, all the while joined with one half of the disc golf world, Swiss.
Yeah.
I suppose.
I went with the more personable Swiss instead of Swiss cheese.
That's all
On a
right.
first name basis.
As long as it's not the government name, I'm cool with it. So I don't
sexually attracted to Swiss cheese.
Wow. Interesting. No, it's funny. Like with people I work with, it's like because the name's out there. It's Quinn, and so like everyone will call me Q. Like my name's always been shortened to something or my last name. And so when I tell people I like work and my buddies, I'm like, yeah, everyone calls me Swiss, and they're like, what? I'm like, it's the weird way of trying to explain to people, like, yeah, I'm kind of a big deal, and I know in your world, like, no one knows this, but like, I'm kind of like, they call me Swiss cheese, and everyone's just like, yeah, whatever. It's cool.
Yeah, I don't get it.
Yeah,
it is funny. That is funny that you are like well known in such a niche, little community.
Yeah, dude, I got recognized at the pizza joint by my house the other day. And it was the craziest thing. It was like, it was just weird. It was like one of the top 5 weirdest moments is like, you're Swiss, right? With Disc Golf World? I'm like, you never know. And you're like, yeah. The worst I will say is like on the course. Like we're getting recognized on the course because like I am a guy who likes to play by himself.
Yeah. So
there's that like weird, awkward, like, oh, Swiss cheese, big fan. And they're like waiting for an invite. And it's like, bro,
no, I don't do that.
Yeah, like, sorry. Like,
no. But if you can't tell, we are assholes on our content. So that should, no, I'm just kidding.
You better believe it. We got we got to keep up that image a bit. So,
right.
But Konopište is the best name of disc golf tournaments, by the way. Also, I hope we never get rid of it because I like saying Konopište.
It is fun.
I like watching it. It's just so cool, the castle in the background and just the hunting grounds or whatever it is whenever it's not a disc golf course. I didn't realize that they pretty much let it grow up for the hunting grounds to grow up, and then they come in there like a couple weeks early and just make it look as great as it does.
Yeah,
man. As much as like the hosts were oddly like kind of shitting on it the entire time of like, oh, this is easy, and it's like, dude, you don't need to keep saying it. Like,
yeah,
you're saying the weird, awkward part out loud, man. But like, other than that, like, I don't mind. I've never mind the score, like in any tournament. So
yeah,
no, me either. Birdie or die courses don't. I want to see birdies. Absolutely. I want to see people shred the course.
Absolutely. Yeah.
I didn't get to watch the first round, and I just looked at scores, and I was like, these guys are either all so fucking good compared to American talent, or this is a pretty birdieable course. Turns out both, though.
Yeah. No, I think this is going to be the year where a lot of the community kind of slowly recognizes a lot of the talent that's coming out of Europe. And like when you got Mari, who's signed by MVP now, like Mari's going to be the next what Silva was last year. So in all opinions, like he's going to be the next thing. And like I would arguably say he's probably going to be like the second best. Oh man, he's on the Mount. He will be on the Mount Rushmore of European disc golfers. I'll go on record as saying that.
Believe it. He's got to be a young man. I wonder how old he is. Do you know?
No, I don't. Not off the top of my head. I really, he's not. It doesn't seem old, but man, like there are a few like Europeans that are out there. Like I think he's probably younger. I hope.
Yeah, I would imagine
that's an old statement. But like,
I know they asked him and he didn't really have an answer. Do you think he'll be over here any this year? I mean,
I'm sure he'll be over here for USDGC. I'm sure he'll make that run. So like, as far as like, I think that's like the easiest step is to do the Vermont MVP, like, you know what I mean, that little runish East Coast run. So I would be surprised if he's not here for that. I hope next year he's on a full tour. I really do. I think it'll be interesting. Like I think he's got the skills. I think he can putt. Like
Oh yeah.
He's in control, and he reminds me like a lot of Antela in a way, as far as like what you're doing off the tee, how you answer on the greens, and just keeping it in control is going to be enough. Like at times, and then like you put him on the U.S. tour, you let him get like mature for a year and a half, and then all of a sudden he's going to get a dub. You're going to be like, the whole talk of like lesson fields and like that European win doesn't count is going to go out the window as soon as he gets one in the States. I really do think that's going to happen. So
Absolutely.
Yeah, his spin putt is nasty.
yeah,
Like it's nasty.
dude. Yeah, and that like, and man, shout out to MVP to lock in Silva and Mari. Like, you're talking about like arguably the most like impactful like young new pros. Like, that's amazing. Like, and to stack it with what you already got on the roster, that's so.
Yeah, Brad and Chad. I think they're good at what they do, man.
Yeah, Discraft is kind of collecting all the world champs and building up a undeniable, roster, and MVP is kind of answering to it. So I mean, so is Discmania though, right? I mean,
yeah, no, yeah, Discmania with what they're pulling, absolutely. And with to like maintain that European presence, and I think like even what Innova's doing a well enough job, their players are younger, like you know what I mean. They got some like that Ida. I think she finished just outside of a podium, but she's a teenager. Innova, A2 Tumanen. So like there's enough in there. But man, if I'm Discraft, why would I not like clean house with every American pro on like these weird contracts and like run it that way also? I think that's going to go a long way. And man, any pro, you sign enough of those pros, then you're going to want more pros to come, especially the way you market it.
Yeah.
They just stand out above the rest. But it is weird that they're like they don't have a European player, I think. I can't think like it is kind of weird to me. So,
yeah, I've never even thought about it. They
really
don't have anybody, do they?
Nah, I'm sure they might like somewhere down the line, but like nothing like prominent that I can really think of a name.
I never even thought about that.
Wow, holy shit. They really are full red, white, and blue over at Discraft.
Absolutely. But they know what they're doing too. One of these days.
We'll go ahead and jump into it though. And we start with FPO on the show, just kind of talk over it real fast. Kristen Tatar.
Yeah. It's
she
just
did what she had to do.
Locking it in with the dub. I had Silva picked, I'll be honest. I mean, you should never count out Kristen. That's pretty dumb to do so. But I figured with last year's sweep that Silva had, I figured, she probably.
It's not a bad pick. She was just as impressive, I think. And without having Evelina or Hannah there, also, I don't think that it was going to be one of those two. Let's be honest. But I'm also not surprised by Rachel Turton hitting a podium either. That's just what she does on European tour too. Like she's always up there near the podium or on the podium for most stops. So it did kind of play out like we expected. I think in the FPO, when it comes to Europe, it's top heavy, but man, are they really good. Like the top 5, top 7 of them are just really good. So
absolutely. And I know this isn't a bold statement whatsoever, but Kristen to just clean house in the European swing.
Oh yeah. I think
she's going to go.
I kind of expect that also. She's got to win Worlds, right? Like she has to have the most pressure. So we'll see what happens.
Yeah.
But, like I couldn't imagine going into like having it be a first overseas and being Kristen and having that pressure. Yeah, that's tough. But it's also a track that I think she does very well on. So I think it's going to be the storyline in Worlds is going to, I think, more on the MPO than FPO.
Yeah.
But who knows? Missy can always surprise. But I think it's going to be Kristen. So the same names, right? They're the same names that are there every week that I think will probably pop off. And I think Kristen will be up there. Hopefully. But man, it's cool to see like the talent in the FPO. Like Ida's coming up. And then you got like Annalise is tough. You got like a lot of European young European females that are kind of up in the game. So
Yeah.
good plays, man.
Silva in that category too, really. Like she's still, is she even 20?
I don't
No, man. Like I think, yeah, Silva has like the most potential, if you ask me.
Yeah.
Like if Silva was kind of got what like Kristen got with hiring a manager, getting a nice team with like what Latitude set her up for, I would think Silva can follow well in the footsteps on that.
Absolutely.
So
You think she lacks the mental fortitude as of now, or do you think that maybe just a few mistakes have kind of taken her out of it?
no, with Kristen, if Kristen's in the picture, yes, I
Yeah.
think there is something that needs to come with Kristen. She has to beat Kristen. All the rest, I have confidence in her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's something about Kristen, and it's kind of like that Jordan overcoming Isaiah. You know what I mean? You have to get over that hump to be able to be like, yeah, I can. And we've already seen it, like with Missy and like her major runs and everything along those lines. Just takes that first one to just be like, okay. So, but
Yeah, you just got to break the seal, pretty much. Believe in yourself,
Yeah, man. And she's tough, man. And the fact that like her putt alone is gonna like keep her in the game. You know what I mean? Like that's such a difference. Like, and that's what Kristen does, right? Like that differential is enough to like get you top fives, getting you paid. And that's in the FPO, that's incredible.
Oh, that's everything.
I'm kind of surprised, like, you had a few US, but no US FPO that went over. So I was kind of a little shocked by that.
It's unfortunate. They'd have probably lost though.
Yeah.
I mean, could have Missy, obviously, like you said, could have gotten up there.
Yeah, and that track.
But
yeah, man. Cat Merch, when she's playing on top, when she's playing well, she's just as up there. It's just spotty.
Yeah.
So, but
it's and I'm gonna jump to MPO real fast, but like this is just in my head, like Ezra going over there and playing that in his video when him and Uli were playing, he was talking about how he lost 2 days going and everything else. So he gets done Cascade Challenge. Let's say at the earliest he leaves on Monday.
Sure.
Right. You know what I mean? So
dude, he Instagrammed it up in Alaska before he went, dude, like, come on, bro. But yeah, I somewhat like, because we talked about it on ours, where I was kind of like, hey man, it's interesting that like Ezra's coined as the next up and coming, especially with what he did at Cascade being in the run, and everyone wants to paint that like, yeah, he's gonna be the next one to get the dub, and like got lit up, like he got beat pretty soundly over on a quote unquote easy track, right? Like, so like it happens, but it's like everyone has their rounds, but it's like I think more people should recognize that a little bit as far as what the talent is being provided out of Europe. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But my thing, what I was going to ask, like, now, so he goes, and to me, and then not taking away from the European talent, but maybe fatigue got in from traveling all that way, and then immediately like playing the 3-round tournament pretty much. Now he's going to have to come back and play an Elite Plus. I mean, that just seems like it's counterproductive for him to even go over there and play that.
Well, I think like Calvin did something similar last year, and he crashed too. Like, so I know the dollars were kind of decent enough to go over there, especially when there's like a lack of a field. So I can understand like the prize pool being a tension enough, especially if you're able to make the trip. But Elite Plus does affect things, man. To some that matters, to other pros, and like talking to them, it's another week. Like in all honesty,
I think Kristen's one of those pros where she doesn't really.
Yeah, there's no need to put like it's another week. It just means an extra day.
Yeah,
or there's a cut line, or there's this. That's all that like it really translates to, unless it's a major. Like majors are different.
See, I didn't know with the points increase, like trying to get into that top 28 now or whatever. Like if that means enough.
I will go on record. I have never heard pros talking about their DGPT points in my entire time on tour. Now, in that like last stop, like MVPs, there's a little bit of conversation, like, "Hey, I need a good finish," or "I need this," but it's like I've never heard that mentioned. Like, we've heard like, "Hey, I shot this rated." I've heard this. So like everyone who talks about like ratings don't matter, we've heard those.
Mhm.
Never had or have ever heard a conversation whatsoever around DGPT points.
Wow.
Oh, I would have thought that getting into that championship would mean a little bit more, but I mean, just for the payout, right? Because if you go,
Yeah.
you get paid, right?
No, I know it was a huge deal for Hannah last year because she got in on the final day, and I know she was celebrating. So I know that one, but it's usually for the bottoms, like the ones that are like kind of in that running. I think there is, but yeah, it's just something that I've never heard. It's interesting, like there's just no time. Like you think like, dude, these guys are on the course so much that like it becomes like Monday's a fun day or a travel day, and then you're back on the course running stuff and throwing all day. And so like they're more talking about shots, what they're doing, what they're eating, everything along those lines
Yeah.
than like tour. But hopefully I'll get there. I really do. Like I think also, now that being said, the other thing that they will talk about is like, oh yeah, I'm gonna get on this podcast for this bonus, or they'll talk about the bonuses for like their sponsorships, like, hey, this finish helped me get this. So I hear a lot of that, but nothing around DGPT points. But I'm not there this year, so
Someone wasn't invited.
yeah, we did get that invite. So
Yeah, this year, from what I heard, everybody, that's all they talk about is DGPT points this year.
yeah. I
They
bet.
let us know.
I'll make sure to do a video on that one. So yeah, but yeah, man. As far as the MPO goes, it was great. Antala had like a little bit of a poor like final day, but I mean, Mari killed it. Yeah, had
Mari
enough.
Vilman.
Yeah, Vilman, absolutely.
That guy shreds.
Average
1067 golf for the weekend. Shot a course record the second round, I believe, right? With the 14 under.
Yep.
Mhm.
It's 14 down. That's nasty, dude.
Yeah.
I was going back to look at I'm sorry, I don't know what's happened with the the quality of my camera, but I look like there's like an AI filter that makes me look 8-bit. I have no idea why it looks like
You're
that.
at witness protection interview right now.
Yeah.
Actually, your voice. That'd be
I
great.
told Macaulay to throw up over my face so I could be completely anonymous. But shit, I lost my train of thought. Yeah, I went back and looked at other events this season, and aside from, I think Ezra shot like a 1070 something rated Supreme Flight Open event. This 1067 would 100% have won most of them. So
Yeah, the average most. Yeah, no, it's
so you could imagine if there was like, if a lot of the American field was over there, probably wouldn't have mattered.
no. Yeah, it may have been closer. I would probably say it would be a tighter race. Like I
Sure.
think like yeah, but it's no. I think Mari, the way he was playing, he might have had one up there, but like that's what's the cool thing about these courses is they're like I don't mind necessarily the separation as long as like there's great play. The problem that like Konopište happened, like you had great play, but it was just primarily by like one individual.
Yeah.
And like I mean, I think of like the European Open with that like Paul and Eagle year where it was just like probably the greatest disc golf we've ever witnessed, if you ask me, like that tournament. And so yeah, like I think it's there, but like I think you're right about the course, the optics of it, the views, and I think like the castle, but I think they do need to make a couple of tweaks. There is like a few of them where it's like, oh man, this is just straight ahead, right? Like, you know what I mean? Like this is 400 straight ahead, and like they need a little bit of that change. But man, I love it. And Mari's going to be legit, man. I'm putting it out there. Mari is going to be up there. Like he is going to be the real deal.
Yeah, he was on it. Like when somebody gets in like what do they call it, like a flow state or just feeling it. You know what I mean? He was on it all weekend long. Like I mentioned, his spin putt. That shit's nasty. Like his putt is great. Like I guess I would say he's predominantly forehand.
Yeah,
Man,
I think that's fair. Yeah.
but he was just on it all weekend, and I haven't seen him play a lot. I've seen him play a couple times, but it was pretty impressive. Like everything was, he was just on, man. It was nuts.
Yeah, man. Like to have like Antela be chasing you, and like this is why this is kind of a pivotal moment to like what could carry him off into like a pop off European run this year, where it's like, hey, you got that win out of the way. Now what can you do? You know what I mean? And I think he does want to show some people, and he should. Like, but he's gonna be up there. Like I said, I kind of watching him closely, like as far as skill set, I think he's the second best European MPO as far as skill set, like out there right now. And I'm not trying to take away anything from like Vino or DSC or any of those guys. The dude's just smooth.
Yeah.
And he's consistent, and that goes a long way. So but man, when you're shutting down Antela, like come on, like you got to recognize that. Like
Absolutely.
yeah, and like I don't care what the rest of the field is. Like when you're shutting down the top 5, top 3 player in the world, you know what I mean, with 2 dubs under his belt this year, back to back. Yeah, man. Like, it's legit. Like,
yeah.
So
although also that, I mean, I do think he should be recognized for that, but also I feel like Antela is not where he was at the beginning of the season. You know, he's kind of fallen off since, I guess, Music City.
Yeah, I
slightly.
think so. I think like I'm not gonna judge this one because like again, travel, fatigue, everything along those lines, because those guys are just in there in the same boat. But also like I'm sure when you are traveling back, there's a lot to do, like girlfriend visits, significant other
Right.
family. You know what I mean? There's so
Yeah.
much else to like kind of revolve around that. Like, yeah, but when it puts up the shut up, like I think he's Antela's there. He's my man. He's my right now. I've already gone on record. He's my rooting. I want him to win Worlds while I'm there. Like I think that would be the coolest story, in my opinion. Like in person, to be there in person for it. Like
yeah, it's got to be one of the top stories for sure. Right? Like him or Macbeth or I don't know. I thought about this. I'm trying to think. I had a couple, and it was him and Macbeth were like the 2 top ones. You know,
I think it was him. Like me and Jefferson, it was him, Macbeth, AB, Simon are probably like the top tier.
Yeah.
Rick would be good too. He would overcome it. Absolutely. Like Rick that would be enough. But I think I'd put it slightly below that.
Okay.
But like if AB could come back and like answer 17 again and like in an epic fashion, that would be a cool storyline. Like Antela winning it overseas, home nation, like oh my gosh, like yeah, man, like we book our itinerary and like as we're getting now that everything's booked and everything's like set, it's like the brain's processing like oh my gosh, like this is gonna be incredibly huge.
Oh, absolutely.
And it's gonna be awesome.
You actually get like the firsthand look on the European crowds too.
Yeah, absolutely. Like,
what it means to people in Europe, the disc golf scene means to people in Europe as opposed to the US. So you have a comparison.
Yeah, I can't wait for it. I can't wait for it. Like just the crowds alone. Like man, like so one of the coolest stories is we were there. We were at 2019 when it was Paul won in Ledgestone or wherever, and that was like at that time the most attended event. And so to be able to do that at like our first World's attendance, and now be able to go to Finland, and like, dude, it's good.
These are milestones.
Yeah, like I'm not trying to like me and Jefferson were talking. Is like it was never an option that we had. Like if we can make it happen, we had to be there. Like and we were able to make it happen. And like I don't see like anybody who's in like the higher ups that are in the community are in the game. If they can be there, I don't know why you wouldn't be there. Like, I just don't understand it. So, but I think it's gonna be epic.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
they asked us to go, and we were like, "Hey, we're a little bit busy."
Yeah, you got the media email. It's all right, man. We haven't gotten approved for media yet, so
Yeah, I heard that on your.
yeah, I don't know what's gonna happen with that, but we've been in contact, so we'll see.
Surely,
Yeah,
they will, right?
hopefully.
Not necessarily surely, but it seems like they should.
Yeah. If not, man, we're going like.
Oh, it's still gonna be a blast.
Yeah, we're gonna go Wolverine style, and I'm gonna just caddy and like fucking. You're not gonna hold us. Like, we're gonna get our stuff no matter what. Like,
Absolutely.
yeah. So like we've been in
Guerrilla
contact with a
journalism.
couple of fans also. So I'm hoping to like be able to do some like cool stuff too.
Yeah.
So, and then try all the salted gummy treats too.
Oh yeah.
I also want to try the beer because I hear the beer is a lot stronger. Like the old Finnish guys used to like make fun of our beer when I would like drink with them on the tour. Yeah, we can drink here. It's like water, but I don't drink at home. I'm like, what? Yeah. So it's kind of funny, but so yeah, it'd be cool. I'm also excited. Yeah. So, but just for the European game and what it could do, I think it's going to be a game changer. I really do. And I just hope it's good television also. Yeah.
What do you think about Estonia locking down those majors for the next few years or a couple of years, I guess?
When you know the money that we've been told, it makes 100% sense.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? Like
that's where my head went to immediately. I was like,
yeah, like when you hear that, like I remember like when they came back after that first festival was Ledgestone, and it's kind of our home course. And I remember just talking to pros and just being like, they were bummed. They were legit bummed. Like this is supposed to be one of the best stops in US, and it doesn't compare to what that was.
Yeah.
It's like all we heard. And then we've heard $80,000 provided by the government. We've heard more. Like we've heard some numbers drop. So it makes sense. Now my biggest gripe with it is if they're good enough to have a Worlds, it should not matter. My problem is, what's the point of having a bid process if you're not going to take the best bid every year?
Right.
Like, so if you're telling me they had the best bid, but you didn't want to have two Worlds back to back overseas, that's wrong to me. Like,
yeah,
that's what I disagree with. But the fact that they were able to kind of broker this deal, I think is going to create the best product also. And that's just what's most important for the game. So they'll be able to like lock in Worlds. They'll be able to lock in the course. They'll be able to do all that. And I think that's going to be the best. So yeah, I don't fault the PDGA for the move.
A Pro Worlds in Europe is the next best move for the PDGA.
Yes. Yeah.
With the scene that they have over there.
Absolutely, man.
And
just, like, man, that was also like while we're on tour, it's big enough over in Europe that there are plenty of American tour pros rumors where it was, yeah, DGPT is gonna leave and go to Europe. Like that has been one of the running rumors is because of and like you can't have that rumor without the success of what the Europe stops are doing, right? Like so that it's like it's been talked about. Now it's cooled off. I will say that, but like, man, I remember that first year, everyone's like, yeah, but tour's gone. It's going to Europe. It's like, so, but that's kind of cooled off a little bit, but the fear is there.
Yeah, I can see it happening, right? I mean, it's not a far-fetched like thing. Like it's more professional and seems to be bigger per capita there than it ever will be here.
Sponsored by gummy bears.
Dude, Harborough, yeah, man. I know.
One of my favorites, dude.
Yeah.
No shit, man. The pineapple, come on, that one slaps.
Like, yeah. Only thing I don't like about the Haribo is the fucking strawberry are green. It don't make no goddamn sense.
Oh yeah, they are.
Yeah,
they just don't make no fucking sense.
Right.
Get out of our sport.
Yeah, that's yeah. No, I think it's a concern. I don't know if there's enough like quality stops, but enough to like have. Yeah, here's the legit European swing. It's a month and a half, and it is what it is. And like in the States, you fill it with either Go Throw or some other ones, like some smaller ones. I think that's the plan moving forward, and I don't think it's necessarily a bad plan
Yeah.
at this time.
Just,
know-
let's say they go half and half, right? Let's just say if they can find enough stops that are good enough that they went half and half.
Okay.
Would most of your top Americans go and do the whole thing, the whole half? If the money was right, let's just assume the money's right.
I mean,
If the money is right, yes. I will say there's going to be, because in and around that time, you're talking like it's also the Midwest. So like Gannon may miss a stop to like be at Des Moines. So you'll get those, but overall, the big money, I think it would be foolish otherwise. Like if we're talking about what this market's going to be and how it's going to grow, why would you not, as a pro, also want to be there?
Yeah.
Like me as a channel, like we have conversations of like, hey, how can we attract Europeans? What can we, you know what I mean? Like we're having that conversation because it is growing. And as a pro, like, yeah, why wouldn't you? If you're trying to sell as many discs and tour series, absolutely, man. I'm gonna try. I'm gonna be there. I'm gonna be giving out my bag like Eagle and Simon did that one year.
Yeah.
Like, I'll do that all day. Like, why not? I think there's some that. The sad part, I think the like, I shouldn't say sad, but like the ones that have it are like not as popular or not as up there. Like the ones that understand it, like the Proctors, you know what I mean? Like they get it, and like it's just not the Gannons, you know what I mean? But like if you're Gannon and AB, you're going where the money's going, and if that wherever that's competitive, and so that's kind of where we're at, and I don't blame them. But like, man, I can't imagine like the fact that like as much as that travel back and forth was what it was, we're talking about $8,500 for first place. And, you know, what did Go Throw got? I think like 1,500.
So yeah.
Yeah.
Like, how much longer does Gannon not see that and just be like, yeah, I could get over there, hop over real fast? Or granted, this year's probably a bad example with the Northwest being right after, but like, yeah, 8,500 is not a bad little payday.
No.
No.
No, I was actually wanting to ask you, you were talking about the courses over there. Like, do you think Konopište is kind of a good representation of European disc golf, even with it being as scoreable as it is? Because you hear pros every now and then, you know, like you said, I think you mentioned James Proctor kind of champion the European disc golf. I know Eric Oakley's made statements.
Hell, Paul and Beth has said it. He
Yeah.
said it needed to be the courses here need to be more European.
Oh yeah, that's definitely part of his design. Is he pulls like the fairways. I think it's the fairways that really get the pros, like having the defined fairways and being able to do that. But I think if I was going to use like, hey, this is European disc golf, I would probably go with Crocol or the new Tampere course.
I like it. I like it a lot.
I would probably say like that's what I think of when I think of Europe.
Yeah.
Yeah. My biggest regret is not going to Crocol. Man, like part of me is like, man, you're in Finland. How do you not go hit up this course? You
Yeah.
know what I mean? But not enough.
You went there and didn't go, huh?
Not enough time. And man, the Crocol guys are homies. Like they told us like if you want to show up. And I was like, oh man, jerks. You know what I mean? Like it's like a plane and a ferry and fucking all this other shit. Like I was like,
a bar fight.
Yeah, man. Like the last thing is like we're flying in, I think Sunday, getting there Monday, and then like it starts Wednesday. So, you know, there's just not enough time.
Sure.
But there will be enough time to throw the beast. So I'll be able to mark that off.
That's
Hell
awesome.
Yes.
Yeah, bro.
That's crazy.
We made enough time. The way we book it is, and that's kind of what we did on tour. We always played every pro course right after, the Monday after. This is what we always did. So the fact we're going to get the beast out of the way and then have another one that's going to be torn down, unfortunately. So that would be sick. Hopefully.
Speaking of courses, Go Throw. went to Kayak Point. You got any opinions about Kayak Point? Because I've got a few.
Go ahead. It's far. Like it reminds me kind of MCO a little bit from like the distance. Like, but that's and I think like the FPO, I think that like the pars was a little soft, but that's more the FPO. But I thought it played well. I thought the talent played well. I don't know if are you going out on the line and saying it should be a pros tour stop or
no, I hated it. I thought it sucked. I mean, the course was beautiful, man. Like there was even a shot, and I wish I could probably go back and find it. There was a shot, I believe it was Ezra Robinson, obviously, but he was like the woods were in the background. It was like a fucking hobbit town or some shit, man. It was beautiful. There was shit. I don't know if it was bugs or pollen or dust or
fairies.
There was, it could have been fairies. There was shit like floating up in the camera shot, like behind him, glistening off the sun. I was like, what beautiful. The fuck is this place?
Yeah. I saw ferns for the first time.
Oh, man, like Fern Gully? Yeah, man. Yeah, it was
like Fern Gully. That's a good. But the thing with me was, you know, and this, I don't want to take anything from GoThrow, but like, Luke kept on saying something about Ezra keeps throwing the same disc. I'm talking about round one. I'm talking about the gold layout. The blue layout, I have a different opinion, but the gold layout. He said Ezra, he could have just brought that one disc. Well, goddamn, every shot was the same. Throw it as far as you can and get it to fade left towards the basket. I mean, it was the same shit over and over and over.
The one thing, like, that's what I hate the most. As long as you have a mixture of shots, like, I'm on board. But when it becomes... And that's whether I'm playing or consuming. Like even I can't like. So there's a course like in my area that everyone loves, and that's like, yeah, it's great. It's a framed tunnel shot straight 10 times out of the 18. I'm like, you know what I mean? I'm like, I'm like, cool. It's difficult, but like, it's the same shot, guys. Like, we're not doing anything different. So I get it. I do think this is kind of going off like a little bit of topic, but with the Prodigy sponsorship, I do hate them not naming discs like they used to. I do hate, and I get why you did it. I understand why you did it. But like, yeah, that's a bummer because I don't know if
DGPT has been more lax about it or what, but DGN, they've been naming discs. I've noticed. I mean, like Paige threw her fierce on that shot, and I don't know if they got the okay or what, but Big Brother Prodigy is put their hand on their shoulder like, seemingly.
Yeah.
That it's annoying though.
Yeah. I think they were the one that got us shut down on when we filmed the basket trial.
Oh, yeah.
That was like one of the greatest videos that never was.
Really? For the Titan Pro.
Yeah, man. Jefferson got out there, got approval to film it, and he had incredible footage. And like Nico was hilarious. Like, man, that video could not have made Nico LaCastro look any better, if you ask me.
Really, he needs that.
Exactly. Like,
Nico would be a fan favorite right now if it wasn't for them.
Nico is hilarious where like he was chucking it as hard as he could from like 10 feet away. He's like, you want to see if it spits out, right? Like that was his theory. He's like, let's just fucking whip it.
Yeah.
And like it was a great video, but evidently the DGPT promised that it wasn't going to be recorded, and some manufacturer saw our video and they asked us to take it down.
Weird move.
Dude, I think it got like 10K in like 2.5 hours. It was going to be insane. It was going to be nuts. I don't think we have it. I wonder if we have it, but it was hilarious too. But yeah, like it's dumb. There's a lot of that with the pro, like the sponsorships up there. I think a lot of, I don't want to say gatekeeping, but there's a lack of, like, I can't think of anything else, but like the control of like certain aspects of it is such like the shame, and it's handcuffing the announcers, it's handcuffing the product. And I think that the PDGA has its own thing too. Like DGPT should, like we talked about it the other day, DGPT should have their own rule book. And like just you want to like have it be like a PDGA-esque and like cohabitative, sure, but just make your own rule book.
Yeah.
Like you're an organization, you're like the biggest in the sport, just do it. Like you should have your own rules, your own like things.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because DGPT doesn't necessarily, promote PDGA as much as the PDGA probably wants the exposure from the DGPT from,
So
DGN. But
yeah, it's kind of fucking lame if you ask me. Like that's the saddest thing of like being in like this shit that we see behind the scenes on stuff like that is like the saddest, like most upsetting thing.
kind of like a feast or famine mentality when
yeah, man. One of these days, like, will it fully expose it? There's still limits, but like one of these days, like, man, it's funny because like I even like we recorded yesterday. I told Jefferson, I was like, man, when are we gonna do this video titled this, and like let everybody know how close this happened? You know what I mean? Like, and so yeah, one of these days we'll get that, but
yeah.
Maybe off the record we'll talk. I'll share more of that information. But yeah, like the stuff that we've been privy to and the stuff that we've been told is just like, I wish it did, but like certain control, certain people didn't allow certain things, and it just never came to fruition. But we're that close.
I think the PDGA is just not the best at decision making and growing the sport. I mean, why? I don't know. Doesn't make sense.
I think
comment.
I think they're in the right goddamn direction though. Like Burkus is definitely the right guy. I'm gonna go on the record and say that the willingness, as much shit as I've given him for it, like I just like the fact that you had this bid process and you do these steps and then all of a sudden you're just gonna say throw it out the window for whatever you want. I kind of respect it, but at the same rate, like you can't establish that standard and then go away from it. Yeah, in my opinion. But like, so I get that, but like I don't question, like even that Estonia, like, yeah, man, makes sense. I get what you're doing. There's money involved, there's dollars, do it. I just think changing that way in that respects is good. I think getting more out there certainly better. And
absolutely.
But you're talking to like I've never had a PDGA membership.
Whoa.
I don't have tournaments. So I don't play tournaments. I've never had. And that's the problem with the PDGA membership is that's the only attraction.
Yes.
Like, so
yeah, there's really no other incentive other than we chase this rating that some people don't even give a shit about, right? I mean,
yeah, I don't. Yeah, so for me, it's like nope. Like, and yeah, I could get behind some of the community effort and stuff like that, but you haven't enticed me with that with your membership whatsoever. So,
you mean the magazine wasn't good enough?
No, magazine was not good enough. Absolutely.
What about the 5% off at Holiday Inn?
Pretty good deal.
I get it, but no, I wish I would like no. I it's kind of bumming. Like, and in all honesty, it's not going to change anything. That's the saddest part about it. Like the same people in the leadership are going to be the same people in the leadership, and they're putting the people that's going to replace them right behind them. So like, you know what I mean? What we got is what we got. We can talk about big change, but I don't think it's ever going to happen. You know what I mean? So even if you get that wild card, like a Drew or like Brody, like what's one vote going to do?
Yeah.
So
what? Well, did you think it was a step in the right direction for them to go on staggered stance and release these proposed rules?
Yeah, we'll go ahead and jump straight into that.
Fuck Kayak Point. Gannonburg played really good. And
Gannonburg smoked the field. Yeah, like no, yes, it was a smart move. It was an intelligent move. Was it thought of? No. Like, dude, if you're going to be on a podcast, go be on Tour Life.
Yeah.
Yeah. They contacted us first. That's how silly going on staggered stance turns out to be. 1,700 views 2 days later.
Oh, man.
No, I thought it was an interesting point. I watched your you guys talk about it. And yeah, I mean, I guess the idea of getting it out there, maybe trying to reach a broader audience using like the social media, something that PDGA doesn't really do.
No,
it's usually the newsletter, right? But I think, I mean, just going off staggered, and the only reason I know it was on staggered sense, not that they don't have a following. I mean, who the fuck am I to tell you? But it was posted on like a disc golf discussion. I think Disc Golf Fanatic or something posted it, and I was like, oh, I need to go watch this now. So yeah,
it was the right move. Now, here's my thing. Like, I get like wanting to have that open debate, but man, just send me so I know what it is so I can speak on it also. You get what I'm saying? Like, just give, like, that should be anybody who has, even you guys, like anybody who has any bit of social media presence in the game. What's it hurt sending those rules out early? Even if they leak it. Like, like, what's that do? It's a proposal. It's meant to be leaked. Like, so even if it's leaked, it doesn't take away from anything. So they should have given it to everybody.
Yeah,
the fact that they didn't even give it to Grip Lock. Like, how do you not give it to them? Like,
did they only get tell staggered stance that have to deal with them?
They said they're going to be on another podcast. My guess is it's going to be Terry's.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
If I had to bet. So it's going to be on Smashbox, which I think is out today.
Okay.
Yeah, that's definitely who. I mean, that's who I was assuming it was going to be, because if it's not y'all and if it's not Tour Life and it's not Grip Lock, it's got to be.
Yeah, you need to hit like the big five, including you guys, because you guys have a following. Like, they could have put that information out there to y'all, and it would have been, obviously made more ground.
Well, yeah, that's what I was going to say.
Just going on one.
I could almost guarantee that even if they didn't come on with y'all or just gave you and you made an episode of the rule proposals, it would have more than 1,700 views right now.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's that is the asinine stuff about it, where it's like, give it to everybody. You know what I mean? Like, and man, as big as we are, there's still people larger. Like, and this kind of goes into like, and this is the stuff that we've battled, and people gripe about us saying it out loud, but like, this is the battles that we've kind of come in where, like, the old established, or what was being done pre-COVID is the standard, and here we're new and we're providing a different avenue, and it's getting results, and too few people want to acknowledge it. Like, you know what I mean? And it's, whether it's like the ones in the biz, whether it's the PDGA, that's the thing that's really tiring. Like, I get not wanting to have us interview. I get all that. I can even understand, like, yeah, we've been critical of the PDGA, but why would you not, in an effort, hey, here's our rules. We want you to do a video, and we're going to give this to you early. Don't release it till this date. Cool.
Yeah. Plus, bad press is good press. Like, the idea that you guys are somehow hurting ticket sales or memberships for what, I mean, that's crazy. And there's no way it's true, right? Like, there's no way people are like, fuck, I'm not watching DGN because Jefferson had a good point on last week's video.
Yeah.
They're going to watch disc golf.
Yeah. Not the way that people consume, right? Like, I think like a lot of people consume everything. And like, so yeah, I think, and at the very least, like, even not us, like, man, go get the guys who are doing on the course stuff. Let them act it out. Let them show it. Like, let them do a tutorial on it. Like, I'm not just talking to us. Like, I'm talking like, man, just get it out. Like, show it. Like, there should be shorts. There should be this. Like, all of that should be like out at this point in time.
Yeah.
Like, if you've done this job right, like, if you ask me, and it's not difficult. You hop on YouTube, you just look up the most views, and you pull some names, and you hit up fucking some DMs. That's it. Like, it's really not that, like, we're not talking about like that much thought or that much like shaking hands or any of that shit. Like, it's like, just go see what gets the most views, type in disc golf, see like what pops up first, and then that's your list. Like, fuck. Like, it's just, yeah, man. It's just, come on. And that's the problem with that's where we find ourselves in our sport. And like, it's amazing, like, how some people get rallied behind, some don't, and like, but it's all good. Like, it all helps. So like, just use everybody. Like, just use, and like, dude, like, it's embarrassing that Grip Lock doesn't have it. Like, absolutely, that's embarrassing. Like, And that's not taking away from Staggered. Great get by Staggered, by the way.
Absolutely.
Incredible. Like, you've fostered those connections. You've gotten this incredible. Good job. Not taking that away from you. I'm just taking away from an organization that wants to get its message out. Do what you need to do to get the fucking message out.
Yeah, one thing that gets me, and maybe because it's Brody and I don't want to like hear his opinion, but wouldn't it make sense for them to take to Tour Life rules changes when one of the hosts of Tour Life is part of the rules committee? You know what I mean? Uli is part of the rules committee that they talk about all the time. Well, that just seems like it makes sense.
Yeah.
But because Brody would probably fight back on a little bit of, or ask more questions than what they want to answer, they won't even fuck with that, you know?
No, and there's plenty good, man. Like, I think them keeping the 30-second clock in the circle, smart move. I'm glad they didn't change that. Like, because if you're really going to try to engage calling that, that's where you're going to get the calls. It's not going to be on the 45-second fairway, whatever. Like, it's going to be on putts and mostly putts alone.
Mm-hmm.
Let me go ahead and read that one off.
Sure.
So you're going to get 30 seconds on the tee at a drop. What is it? 30, 45, 30?
That's what they're calling it. Yeah.
The 30 seconds on the tee, 45 seconds fairway, and then 30 seconds anywhere in how many meters of the
circle two,
C2.
C2 and in. So basically in the fairway, you're going to get an extra 15 seconds.
Yeah. And man, that's like really only for scrambling.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But like, keeping it 30 seconds on the putt is huge. That's where you're going to get the calls from any pro. I don't think any pro is going to call on the fairway.
No,
I just don't.
Are they going to call now? Like, is somebody going to make this call now?
No.
Even with the extension thing. Like,
yeah. So
I wish I could. I really wish I could. Now, this is my problem with the extension. Without a running clock, like, you almost have to call that extension before you even like step. Like, you get what I'm saying? Like, you can't like have an internal clock and be like, oh, it's 20 seconds. I want an extension.
mm-hmm.
It's like, hey, my lie is really bad. Give me my extension now before I start going there. Like, that's my problem with it. But it's no, I don't.
To clarify, players in MPO and FPO during majors and elites will be allotted 2 time extensions per round, which will be 30 seconds. And they can be used for like in replace for to call somebody on a time warning.
Yeah.
So if someone lasts longer, you know, takes longer than 30 seconds, you go, hey, that's your extension rather than
that's a neat thing.
And they think that would encourage people to call time warnings.
Yes.
I don't know if that would work.
But are people going to be carrying their Nico stopwatches around? Like,
No.
I mean, seriously, like, how are you going to know, like, if nobody's got a running clock on the card, how are they going to know when the 30 seconds are up and say, hey, buddy, I'm taking your extension right here. This is your first extension. Like, I'm glad they're doing it. I'm glad they're trying to enforce the rules or trying to, you know, make it where they can be enforced. But it's not going to change anything. I don't think.
Not enough. Not enough until you had the clock. Like, we brought it up. Like, they should have like the scorecards. You know, the ones that they hold, the giant scorecard. They should have a clock.
It's like a shot clock.
Running shot clock. I'm like, man, even let it have a buzz.
Fucking air horn.
Yeah, dude. Like, part of me also doesn't even mind like if the like fans were counting down. Like, if you allow it to get that close, like, you know what I mean? Like, part of me's like, yeah, why not? Yeah, like you're stress button and it's like 3,
5. Like, fuck. All of a sudden feels like a free throw.
Yeah, man, I'd fucking lose it. But like, you need something like that to be able to run it. And then the other question is like, okay, when's it start? Who's starting when? Like, that whole like mess. But like, there is a way around it. I think like, you set the mini. You're not allowed to set the mini till it's your turn. You set the mini, there your clock starts.
Yeah.
And then like, that's how you run it.
That's pretty ingenious, the mini thing.
Yeah. And like, you force everybody to use a mini as much as it's gangster for Paul to hit those putts.
I know, dude. It's so cool.
Sick. Like, fucking, I'm sorry, I got to take that away, but whatever. Like,
it doesn't look as cool whenever he's about to drain like an 80-footer to tie going into the last hole.
Yeah. So like,
button.
But yeah, those that would be the only way. But no, it's a small step. Does it change anything? No. Does it help slightly?
Yeah, and I think it definitely makes sense too.
And I
They're
think it'll
going
get passed
further.
through. I think it'll get pushed through if you
Yeah.
ask.
Yeah, I think so too.
Yeah,
I
anyone
think a
who
lot of these will.
anyone who missed it, these are proposed rule changes per Robert Leonard on staggered stance.
Yes.
On his interview with Staggered Stance. Another one that I thought was kind of interesting, you have to clarify when you throw a provisional. So before, people just be like, I don't know, I'll throw a provisional. You have to be very direct and specific about why you're throwing a provisional. Sure.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Everyone does the famed like Paul was cheating at Ledgestone story about that. Like, I don't know if you guys know the background or
I don't know
the
if I know that.
baseball hole. He supposedly threw OB and then took a professional off the tee, which you're not supposed to do 1 year. And people kind of accuse that as being cheating because then he used the better one
Yes.
instead of the drop zone and all that. So,
Okay.
but it's not bad. I will say the running joke while we were on tour was like more so the lies on OBs and taking advantage of that, like pushing it forward, moving it back, whatever's best for the player was the running joke by like employees, everybody, like, oh yeah, benefit to the player type bullshit, and they always hated it.
Yeah.
But like nobody was. The only time people talk about like times is when Cupcake and Nico are putting.
Yeah.
And I don't even put Gannon in that
Yeah,
respect.
I haven't heard anything about him taking a while this season, or I haven't heard much.
No. And I think, like, don't get me wrong, the one in the championship was deserved, but I think Gannon's also smart enough that he knows the rules enough to let him play where it's like, cool, call it on me. Like, he's going to, like, I'm going to keep doing this till you call it on me.
Yeah. That was seconded by Rick, right?
Yeah.
It almost felt like Rick, because he was losing at that point.
No, yeah.
You know, he gave up that huge 6-stroke lead. That still pissed. I don't know why I was so invested in Rick winning, but when he lost that 6-stroke lead, I was actually irritated.
Yeah, you're like,
I
bro.
was like, this son of a bitch.
I will say that is the one thing, the other rule change as far as the only detriment, like I'm for it on paper, but then like I think about it more, is where you're not allowed to dispute your lie if you threw it. I don't know exactly.
Your vote don't matter.
Yeah.
Yes. So they're removing the player's input on determination, being made Mando or OB stroke. Now it's up to your card without your say so. Abstaining from a vote will result in a courtesy violation.
Yeah. No, I don't mind that. But like,
no,
that sounds great on paper because it's like, yeah, you shouldn't really be able to defend your case.
Because you're obviously going to be like,
yeah.
no, come on, I'm in.
But then I think about it like, man, final round lead card. You need that OB stroke. You get what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. Like, do I put it past anybody? Do I think it would happen? No, but do I certainly put it past anybody? No, either. Like,
Yeah.
If I can throw like anything off Hilter and something pops up and then they're not able to defend it, and you got enough people that's in competition that's 2 strokes away. Yeah, man, that's OB. Sorry.
Yeah.
Like, there's two sides to it, but initially I was like, yeah, great idea. And then I thought about it more. I was like, oh man, what about this? But it's still a great idea.
Bias from your opponents, right?
The thing is though, you're forgetting golf is a gentleman's game.
Only gentlemen play. Can I be completely honest? That rule was put in place, or the proposed rule put in place because people kind of misunderstood benefit going to the player.
Yes.
Fucking me. Benefit to the player was only meant for ties, like a tie and a call. I just thought, hey man, if it's close enough, we all agree, right? Benefit to the player. I've been saying that for years. I had no fuck. I thought that it was just it rules in your favor.
No,
it's only when there's like a tie.
No, it should only be that. Yeah, it should only be that. But that's my only worry about doing that. Like, I don't think. But yeah, they shouldn't. It's a poor look. It's just like really, like, I don't know. Like, everyone wants to run to that Hamas at Waco. And like part of me is like, if I'm Hamas at Waco, man, I'm gonna fight as much because I don't want to walk up that goddamn hill again. Like,
absolutely.
I'm down here looking at this lie. I want to throw it here. Like, so
Yeah.
But
Do you think it was in? It's hard to say, like from a camera.
yeah, from the
perspective.
camera, like I think the fact that it was ruled that way wasn't enough. Like,
Was
man,
it?
it wasn't enough for
Yeah,
the
yeah.
like the like, man, we've talked to pros. Like I've been like, I've been on cards with pros where somebody's like, "Hey, can you check my foot?" And they don't even look, and they're like, "Yeah, you're good."
You're good.
Yeah, but like, and then like he
Sounds like
that
MAT
same
out
pro
there.
looked at us and was like, if he's asking, he's doing it right, right? Like if you're asking, you're not gonna ask if you're cheating. Like, you get what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So the fact that like he's asking, he's like, that means he's doing that. So I kind of get it. And that's the problem. The real problem with self-governing is like there's too many times, like you guys have been to events, those pros are like all over the fairway at times. Like,
Yeah.
how can I govern when I'm 25 feet away on my lie?
Absolutely.
And
Like,
that's
so, yeah, it's just dumb. Like
Yeah.
that's the problem with it all.
And
So
that-
either you like piggyback and like trail it, like, or we get over the rule stuff. Like,
Yeah.
chill. Like, guys, just relax. Like,
Yeah.
And then we bring up pace of play, right? Like, I understand it's always been a rule to watch other people play. Like back in the day, whenever Paige called a foot fault on herself and nobody would second it, and she was like, "Well, I'm getting ready to call courtesy violation on every one of y'all because you're supposed to be watching." And I mean, that always sticks out to me. So I understand it's always been a rule that you have to watch, and you should be able to make a call on every play, like anything that's in question. But like sometimes you're checking out your lie, trying to figure out what line you're throwing. You're not sitting there and watching, and if you're not doing that, then your shot's going to take longer, and then the pace of play comes back up. Now, with the 45 seconds, I guess that you should have plenty of time. But like, I don't know. It's like, and I'm bad. Like, I guess I'm speaking for myself. Like, I don't watch. I'm not gonna lie, man. There's been a lot of times whenever I'm on the card somewhere and somebody goes OB and they're just like, "Where was it?" And I'm just like, "Yeah, right there's 5."
Yeah, I don't care. Not a chance in hell Ricky does either.
I don't give a
yeah,
fuck.
no,
Motherfucker is so-
yeah, Ricky, no way, Ricky does.
He's in his own world. He doesn't
Yeah,
give a
dude,
shit about.
Yeah, dude, Ricky's
football.
Ricky's his own fucking beast out there, bro. Like Ricky's like, I don't even like. Oh man, yeah, I don't even want to talk to Rick when he's on the court.
Apparently, he used to not talk.
No, it's silly, but yeah, it is what it's just the state of the game, and it's not going to change. And and that's the other funny part is, man, we're still like, man, we might be like a decade away from having like refs, like
Yeah.
but that we're nowhere near that.
No.
Like,
No.
there's no chance, not with all the volunteers that we need for events.
Yeah.
So
Another one I have written down that
Sure.
kind of fun in regards to flex starts. You can play through at flex starts, so you'll now be allowed to skip cards. Like, hey, can I play through like a casual round? And you can compete in multiple divisions during flex starts.
So you can
Also
play more
fun.
than one round. So I could play MA3 because
Yes.
there's been many times I've played flexes and got done and been like, damn, I wish I could play another round.
Wish I could
you
try
know?
that again.
And so I could play MA3 and then turn around and play MA40.
Get
and
2 or 3
then-
rated
yeah.
rounds.
I don't
So
mind
you-
that. Yeah, that is
Yeah,
kind
I
of
think
like
it's pretty cool.
yeah.
And you can booze it up too.
That's
Yeah.
a cool. That's like that's a community hit win. Like, you know what I
Yeah,
mean? Like,
yeah.
well done. Well done.
Yeah.
on, like,
Absolutely.
giving the people what they want.
More than one round, and you can drink.
And-
Fudge,
yeah,
yeah.
And they're
dude.
going to introduce the possibility of drinking booze. I mean, hold on. Does that mean you can drink during, like, with an open container?
Yeah, yeah.
That's
Yeah.
fucking rad.
Just like you can in league. You know, in league you're allowed to have alcohol. So in flexes you'll be able to.
Then you should just be able to do it at a tournament,
They do.
at a fucking elite series. Yeah, but you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like if it's sanctioned by the PDGA, regardless if it's a flex.
Booze
Man,
it up.
why stop there, man? Let's have-
Yeah, who gives a fuck? John Daly.
yeah, like why not? Like having like heaters on the like that would be kind of like grandma heaters on like a drive. Like you imagine like, man, probably the best one that I was gonna say, like having a grandma heater would be James Conrad doing his 11-step run up. And like that shit doesn't drop would be the sickest
Just
thing.
bad.
That would be like, yeah. Or like dips, like just huge. Like,
Oh, yeah.
you know what I mean, like, why not? Like, let them
Spit
rip.
on the D-pad right before you-
Yeah, dude, like, come on. Like, I'm like, especially that's what like if I'm if I'm go throw,
Mhm.
that's the shit I'm leaning.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? Like, hey, like Luke, you're
not
in a
ready.
legal state.
Yes.
Go ahead and rip a bong in front of this coverage. Like, why
Absolutely.
not? Like, who cares? Like, you're not PDGA sanctioned. You're not this. I understand you might be worried about like sponsorships and stuff, but like, fuck. I think
That
that'd be
red
cool.
jacket ain't fooling anybody. You know you're no. Come on, guy. With that
Yeah.
voice, you can't go about. Seriously, guys, let's be for real. Get out of here. This is the go
Absolutely.
throw shit, man. It's fun.
Yeah, man. Yeah, dude. Like that's
I'm
the whole.
serious.
Yeah, like why not? And like have the crowds ripping and like
Absolutely.
yeah, like do like absolutely. I think that would be hilarious. And like just blowing it out in front of the camera and just watching them throw 500 feet would just be like, wow.
Yeah, you sick and tired of the PDGA and all their bullshit rules? And just this is the go throw event. Yeah, it'd be
That's
fun.
hey,
Prodigy would probably have something to say.
that's kind of what we're man. We made sure not to have our event be potted PDGA approved. Like
Damn right.
we're trying to serve beer and everything out there.
Yeah.
That was before this change. But I think it's also that's not a bad like go ahead and do it for like a certain like flex C tiers. Go ahead and make drinking. Who cares? And if it's a legal state, go ahead and make that. Like what's the why? Like that's just my thoughts. Like,
Yeah, I agree.
Like you
Man,
got,
it's the roots of disc golf, dude. That's
Oh,
where
dude,
the
yeah.
sport comes from.
Yeah.
yeah.
Everybody boozing it and
I
smoking it.
started disc golf just to smoke, to like have a reason to smoke, like as like a young teenage male, like
Yeah.
man, I was like, it was funny because I was on the course the other day and there was a young group and they like saw me throw and they're like first timers. They're running to spots and shit. And they're like, how do you do this? Or like, what's the trick? And I was like, man, you're already halfway there. You came out here to smoke and go enjoy it. Like that. Like you're halfway from being hooked. Like, don't worry about it. That's enough. Like you'll get better as
The
you
rest
play.
will fall in place.
Yeah, man. Like, come on, dude. Like, lean into it. Lean into it.
Yeah.
But I can understand like at the pro now level, like, man, I think that's even like you're casual, it's like 80-30, like smokers and like the standard motley crew that you guys are and everybody else. And then like, but on the pro tour, it's more like 60-30, the opposite. Like the pro game's taking over that Eagle Wings and like the religious sector is taking.
Yeah, I was about to say, do you think that's where like the religious Christian disc golf sect kind of steps in more?
Yeah. And man, they're good.
Yeah.
Like they're just good. Like
they pray about it, dude. Yeah. That's probably what makes them so good.
Like, hey, man, great people, but yeah, like I feel like it kind of loses a little bit of the like
the spirit of the game of how kind of Well, we had.
I want my players on acid, like allegedly Stokely that Worlds. Like
yeah,
that's what I want. Those stories. Like
I was just about to mention that we had an episode. We did an episode with Stokely that we had to wasn't released because it was bad quality. But we loved hearing his stories about his introduction into the game, and of course Gibbs read his book and. It's all in there. There's some fun stuff in there.
Oh, dude, there's tons in there.
It's what you think of disc golf. Whenever you talk to a pro like Scott Stokely, he's going to tell you those.
Stokely is one of the pros. Like whenever you meet somebody who's in the game a long time, they have a Stokely story. Like, oh yeah, Stokely. Like I've heard so many Stokely stories from whoever. This person here, this person here. Yeah, like Stokes is like what he's doing is sick.
Mm-hmm.
Like, yeah, like that dude's changed the game, and the fact that he's a hustler too. The fact that he's made money.
Yeah, he is
just a hustler.
He really only thinks in like a bit. He's a very business oriented. He's very business oriented. You can tell, and it comes out in talking to him.
Yes, absolutely. But yeah, like we need more stories like that, and I think that's what's kind of lost. Like, man, that's our sport. That's what's going to be lost in our sport is like those stories. Like,
the
ones that weren't recorded, the ones that like the word of mouth stories.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that's what's going to be lost. Is going to like suck. But man, there's also like it's funny because like we talked. Me and Jefferson went on like a spin TV, like looked at like spin TV, and like we kind of like just dove into that, and I was like, holy shit! Like here's Paul Macbeth doing vlogs. Like that was in our sport, and like nobody knows it, like because
Yeah.
it's just on different stuff. And I was like, Paul Macbeth absolutely did vlogs, and
Yeah, I didn't know.
Sexton in an RV, and
Oh, I have seen those actually.
so like those are kind of the neat things. And so like we've talked about kind of bringing that stuff up and doing more historical stuff. I think would be cool.
I think
Yeah, that'd be
I would
great.
I would love like more historical content. I've honestly I've thought about doing it too because it's something that I love. And like a real cool thing, we have a disc store here in Knoxville, Pluto's, and every once in a while you'll walk in there and they've got like old DVDs and maybe some like fucking VHSs and shit. They got that shit in there, and you'll walk in there and they'll have some old fucking worlds playing. And every time I'll just sit there and watch it for a while and just forget what disc I went in there for and end up buying 3 other ones. You know what I mean? It's just it's sick. So cool. I've always and reading Stokely's book was one of the things that really got me into it. Like I want to know more and I want to see more. I want to hear those stories. You know what I mean? I think that would be some really fucking cool content that bring in some like 3 digits just to tell stories of how they got started and how it was back in the day.
Like, man, there's like one of the video, like we were just trying to, because man, we'll give away one of our hints. Like part of the ways we create videos, we do not create a video without having a title beforehand. That's just how we roll.
Smart.
So like we think of a title. And so yeah, like we were thinking of like, okay, what historical moment? It's like, man, let's tell the story of Eagle McMahon punching the ground, breaking his hand, like kind of deep dive into that. And like, man, maybe how cool would it be to get somebody who was on that card who saw it, like get their interview, get the, like, you know what I mean? Like, yeah, people know it, and that's something that's fresh, but do we really know it? Like, has anybody like picked it apart and like exposed it? No. Like, and that, I think that like little stuff like that would be cool. And like just any bit of like specific story, then run it. Like I think we're gonna try it. We'll see how it goes. I'll probably not get any views on our channel, but
one of the cool things about that story is like when Discmania made that year, they made the razor claw and the claws broke on the stamp. It's really cool.
What about the cloud breaker, like handbreaker stamp?
Absolutely, man. Like and those are some of the neat stories that like,
a large portion of the game now are people that just started in 2020, 2022.
Yeah, man, and
you know, 100,000 plus.
They're all better than me.
Yeah. They all go to church every Sunday.
Yeah, that goes without saying with me too. Yeah, I think it's lost, and I think it's not presented in a way. And there's, man, even like, sure, there's Jomez and there's this and there's that, but like that's just the event. That's not like telling you much about what's going on. And like anybody who goes to the event, there's so much you guys see that people just don't grasp. Now, most of it is like people running with their heads chopped off and like keeping spinning plates afloat. And like, you're just like, how does this work? How do they not have a volunteer for this or this? But like, yeah, like the little stories like that, I think are kind of lost. And like, yeah, there's no one around to tell it. And there's not enough research. Like,
yeah, you're not wrong. I mean, we're still at a day and age in disc golf where we have to like listen to a podcast or it's not on the internet. Like it's not, or you have to go to a obscure Reddit post and be like, okay, so that's the story.
Yeah, you gotta finding like a Reddit post that's like 6 years old and be like, oh, like that happened. Like, dude, there's stuff that still shocks me. Like, man, like hearing the Page Prodigy contract debacle, and I was like, man, that really happened in our sport. Where like Page thought the deal was a 2-year deal and Prodigy like added a year. And she
really, I didn't know anything about this.
Yeah, dude, like that shit like that was supposedly going. Now, granted, this has been told to us and this is alleged, but like
speculation. But
yeah, speculation is we were told Prodigy added years to Paige's contract and she didn't know. And like that why like her final year with Prodigy, she didn't like promote it or anything because she thought she was done. I think it was a 1 year. She thought she was getting a 1 year and it was a 2 year. I think that's what happened.
Okay.
So yeah, like when you hear stuff like that, it's just wild. And like you like those like little stuff like that is like, whoa, like that happened. And like, or like De La, and you hear like, man, this eagle happened on the roller ace and
The roller ace, Barsby, yeah.
infamous roller ace. Yeah. Like, how has nobody done an interview on that?
Yeah.
Like, man, how has nobody ever done like, I know Jomez did the shot around the world, and I'm probably giving away all our videos, but like, how is nobody like, I want to do my other idea is I want to do a video where I want to interview people who were all saw the throw that were there in person. Pro, fan, the holy shot. Fan, pros, caddies, the scorekeepers. I want to hear, and I want to just hit everybody. Hey, if you were there in person, I want to hear your story. Give me 15-minute video of it.
I think that's great.
And then like just splice it up and cut it up and have everybody in there and just be like, hey, this happened. And this is what everybody saw and thought. Like, I think that story's cool.
You got to find the dude in the flag shorts.
Oh yeah, he's a must. Absolutely, that dude's probably still fucking missing. Let's be real. I don't go by my government name. That guy doesn't have a government.
He was at the January 6th insurrection.
He had a buffalo hat on.
Yeah, he was full blown in there. But yeah,
legend says he's still running across.
See, but like that guy's famous now just for being in the picture.
Absolutely, just for running, like running across, like holy shit. And that's the cool thing about our sport is somebody was actually able to do that in the biggest moment of Worlds. And man, even that World story is like crazy. Like that was the year like they had all sorts of drama with the other course, Brody buying the fucking driving range. So much happened in that.
Yeah.
So that was cool.
Yeah, that was a wild world. You're right. There's a lot of story to that world. There needs to be a documentary just on that world. Yeah.
Yeah. No, I still remember we were watching it live. It was crazy. Just witnessing it was just wild.
Oh, I had to watch it post-produced, but like I didn't know. I don't think I knew what had happened.
Wow.
So I kind of got to experience it, but I need to watch it live, sadly. We're gonna have to get off here though, man.
Sure.
I gotta use the restroom facilities.
No worries.
But dude, thanks for coming on. Like always, it's always a blast. You're a well of knowledge.
I just talk a lot. That's all.
Yeah.
I make it sound like I know what I'm doing. That's all. I appreciate it though. Now you guys are always fun, man. Get it. I'm willing to jump on it all the times, man. You guys know.
Hey, man, I was wanting to do my damn Thunder Down Under par.
Can we?
Oh, we can do it fast.
We'll do it fast.
You want to run it fast? We're doing the Thunder Down Under. All right.
Yeah.
There's a thunder down under in my stomach right now.
All right. I asked the question of the guys here if they had to pick 5 touring pros to make up a Chippendales / Thunder Down Under team of exotic dancers, which pros would they pick? And we'll let Swiss start since he's the guest.
Okay.
He's a homie, and I think he works. Gavin Rathbun, and I went with themes on this. Gavin Rathbun as a construction worker, I think works.
Oh damn it! I wish I would have done themes. I'm gonna try it.
Then I got Gavin Babcock as the lumberjack, like full body flannel, works so much on that one. Austin Turner, all thighs, but I want him in the like chip style cop, like the one on the bike, not
with the mustache, dude.
Yeah, that's great.
Perkins is not a pro, but I'm gonna still throw him out there just because he fits the Tarzan with the hair.
And he tore.
That's fucking great.
So I'm gonna go with Nate Perkins. And you do need a dad bod in the Chippendales. So, and I think the one person who I wouldn't put past stripping in closed doors in front of his lady, Bradley Williams, is also on my list. And I forgot what I had him as. I know he's like in the leather bad boy type, like
the biker.
Yeah,
the leather daddy.
Zaddy.
Pull that off. Yeah.
Leather zaddy.
Dude, yours were great. I didn't put that much thought into mine. I was literally just like, which guy do I think is kind of cute?
I mean, I just got stoned and was sitting on the couch. That's all. it was pretty easy after that.
Go ahead, Drew.
All right, I'll start. I went with Babcock. I didn't do themes though, so I'll just do it on the fly. Babcock as I'm gonna throw him in the Native American headdress.
Ooh, nice.
So I'm going only
Little
village people.
YMCA.
Well done.
Babcock. I mean, on you know what, or like substitute teacher with the
Oh,
glasses.
that's a good one. That's a fair one.
I'm gonna go Ricky. I don't know why. I just thought it sounded funny. Literally it. I think it would be terribly awkward for him. But Rick, Proctor, because you need a bear.
Yeah, that makes sense.
You gotta have a good
Can't
bear.
pick Chanimal anymore. He'd have been perfect for that.
That's
Yes.
fair. That's fair. That's a good one. I like that.
Albert Tom to add some
Damn.
yeah,
That was the one I didn't think anybody else would pick.
He was on my list too.
for the exotic kind of the accent. Oh
Yeah, that plays. That plays.
it would. And then I've also picked Austin Turner.
Yeah.
I don't really know what theme I would go with.
You see enough of his thighs, I feel like it plays.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like it. You're
Like,
all right.
I think we have the same taste in men. A lot of we have the same taste. I went with the obvious pick, Ezra Adderhold, just because he might as well. He might, like, I'm not sure what he does when he travels around the world during the off season.
Right.
We've hinted at maybe he's a little bit of a gigolo. I mean, we don't know. He might dance. I'm not sure what he does.
Yeah.
But he's traveling around the world, and he looks really good with his gloves on. So,
Thumb rings.
AB, just because he's tall, dark, and handsome.
Okay.
So, I mean, that's a given. He is a little young, but the ladies like him young, dude. The ladies like him young.
The Cougars would eat him up.
Yeah, they would. Yeah. Speaking of Cougars, Austin Turner, his thighs and his sexy ass mustache. So, and I don't know if you got the Cougar joke, then you got the Cougar. Yeah, if you know, you know. Ricky Wysocki.
Man, you guys both know Ricky. Dude, I could just think
that
like
weird?
without his hands, like just not knowing, like
Dude,
just
yeah.
gyrating like this, and like
Dude, once that music started going, I think he'd know exactly what to do.
With that
First off, let's think
Ricky
about
smile.
it. Ricky. Look at his past women. Pretty good, right? So,
Yeah,
and then
fair.
also a friend of the pod absolutely loves him. Tina, she
yeah.
loves Ricky. So
It's true. So he is probably sought after by the
yeah.
ladies.
So
more
the
than-
ladies, I think the ladies like Ricky more than what we do.
You know, like, who would be the worst, and why is it Gannon or Isaac Robinson?
Yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely.
Like I think those two would be the worst at it.
they
Yeah.
would be.
Ezra almost made my list. I think he's a little bit something hot about Ezra.
Yeah.
He's black sheep. I think he's
Yeah.
gonna. Yeah.
A little dark pirate.
Dark horse pick. Dark pirate pick.
Yeah, I think there's
But listen to
Ezra would
this.
not surprise me, but
Listen to this. If we didn't have to do touring pros, I have the greatest pick.
sure.
David Wiggins.
Oh
man.
yeah,
That motherfucker
No joke.
is an absolute stud of a man.
that's not a bad one.
Yeah.
not
I
bad.
mean,
And
he's
he's like an
out on his
everyman.
goddamn tugboat tugging it, you know what I mean? Yeah, he is. He's like a construction working dude. Just
Yeah.
huge.
Yeah.
Like,
Paul might be awkward too. I could see Paul.
Oh,
Being,
that'd be the worst.
yeah.
like that one would be kind of weird.
Yeah, Paul Macbeth would probably not be good at it.
And we left off Simon. I bet you Simon may have done it also.
Oh,
That's
I
fair.
wouldn't be surprised. Simon Lemonade's a good one too. That's not
I
a
bet
bad-
Eagle wouldn't be a very good
No,
one. He'd come out with that fucking dragon outfit. on.
Yeah. Or he'd be like overly into it, and you're like, I don't know about this, man.
I
How
mean,
is he so good at it?
yeah, he kind of fits because he likes crystals, so he's halfway there.
Yeah.
Like, I still think it's like he's read too many self-help books. I don't know if it'd work. But,
In my head, I could see a lady sitting on the side of the corner of the stage, one side of the stage, and then all of a sudden you see Wysocki coming across the stage doing a worm, and he gets all the way up to her, just berries and fake munches. You know what I mean?
dude, I can only picture like Ricky and the VIP tried to talk, like, and he's like I'm like that's all I can think of is like, what brings you here? Like,
Yeah. Oh, cool. He's just smiling the whole time.
Just has like that weird wide grin and like his hat like halfway above his head type shit. You're like, hey, I think that would be pretty epic. That's all I can.
I definitely only picked Rick because the thought of it was so funny to me.
That's a
I was
that's a
like,
solid
"Ah."
one. I like that one. Nice.
But you bring a good point in that Tina was into him or is. Yeah. So
I don't know.
maybe there's more
I
to
mean,
it than
maybe
what I think.
maybe we should make it public, but she likes it.
Yeah,
I
she's
mean,
mentioned
I'll
it
tell
on
you what, Rick is the one that could look at all the singles on the stage and know how much money's there by just looking.
there. Yeah.
Rain
Rain. Rain Man Rick.
Don't snip that one, man. Rick will see that and he'll be pissed.
He's got $400,000+ in Bitcoin right now.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Good for him.
Big money, Rick. Thanks for joining us, man. Come back on. Let's do it again.
All right, man. Absolutely. You tell me when. I'm in.
Absolutely.
All right, guys.
See ya.
Later.